Hello, storygoers, and welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Cartridge, the video game storytelling podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Eric Penrod.
And I would be the other co-host, Ryan Bauer.
Ryan, we did it. We survived a horrible freeze up north.
Yeah.
The winter. Here's the old Game of Thrones joke. Winter had come. Just no Deathwalkers?
Night Walkers? White Walkers, I think.
White Walkers.
Both a Game of Thrones reference and then not remembering anything about Game of Thrones in the same statement is pretty good, I think. That feels...
It feels right.
It does.
It was negative. I woke up to use the bathroom one morning on, I think it was Saturday morning, and the wind chill had it negative 38 here, which is just wild. So,
yeah.
But we did it. We survived.
They had the coldest recorded temperature in the continental U.S. was in New Hampshire at the top of Mount Washington at like 108 below.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was real wild. Real dumb cold.
Yeah, I saw the picture of the wind on the mountain. It was just blowing like insanely hard. It was really cool. Everyone should check that out. It was wild. Makes you really appreciate negative 38.
yeah, definitely.
But Ryan, how are you, and what have you been playing?
I am doing pretty well. It was very cold, but that was okay. Kept it nice and toasty in the house. Nothing fell apart or broke, thankfully. And if it did, I don't own it, so I wouldn't have to take care of it. But I'm glad it didn't break. But that's a perk. As far as what I've been playing, a bunch of bits and bobs. It's kind of, for me at least, there's a ton of very good games out right now. But I'm not really playing a ton of anything. I'm just kind of booping around here and there. Escape Academy is a game me and my partner have been playing. It's essentially like a couch co-op escape room type thing. There's like 12 little rooms you escape. It's very fun. It kind of captures that escape room experience, but it's like it's on, platforms and PC. We played it on PlayStation. It's like, I think $20 or $30. And it was very fun. So we played through that. I've been playing a bit more Played Up. Destiny 2, bits and bobs here and there. Nothing new or exciting there. I did play a game called The Wandering Village, which is like a city building resource management game where you're like a village on top of a giant moving monster that like moves through different biomes. And as it moves to different biomes, like things come to the city and your resources change. The art is really beautiful. And I'm excited to play it some more. I was playing it Friday night in the cold, but then I got tired and fell asleep. So
hypothermia kicked in.
Yeah, hypothermia kicked in. Everything shut down. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I've been playing bits and bobs here and there, just kind of figuring out what I'm going to play next is kind of where I'm at, or if I'm just going to hold out for the entire month of February until the next Destiny expansion comes out. We'll see.
Nice, very cool.
Yeah. Well, what about you? How are you? What have you been playing?
I'm good. So this winter, this cold is just a good excuse not to go outside. Which, I mean, people are still going out and doing their things, but it was just my excuse to not go outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As an adult, I just don't want to anymore. Just ready to live the hermit life. But
yeah,
no, I'm good. Everything's kind of. I feel like after the holidays, it's just been crazy. Like we haven't had a actual story here on Tales since October, which is unfortunate. But I think we're finally getting back on track. I think it's just all the craziness was really kicking my butt, but.
Same.
I think it's finally starting to settle back in. So that's really good. For what I've been playing, though, I've been playing Pokemon Violet. I'm like I basically finished everything. I can basically just do the level 7 raids. But I've been spending all morning trying to find a slow poke or a slow bro, hear me out, with modest nature. And you're probably thinking, Ryan, why modest nature, right?
Right. Those words, what do they mean?
I have no idea either. It's just what a website told me to do. So I've been catching and releasing several, probably about a good 20 or 25 slow bros or slow pokes at this point, trying to find one. And it's just been a pain in the butt. But I really want, I don't know if you know this one, Ryan. I don't know if you played Pokemon in a while or not, but Greninja is a new, he's an older Pokemon. He's really cool. Yeah. He's in Smash.
Greninja's cool. Yeah.
He's so cool, but he's in the game now, but for a limited time. My game's offline right now, so if it's online, he'll leave. So I need to get him before I mess this up and actually go back online, and he'll be gone forever. So that is my goal. Once I'm done playing Pokemon Violet, though, is when I jump into the terrifying world of Dead Space. I bought it. And I just want to beat Pokemon because once I start playing Dead Space, I won't want to go back. I'm a one game person kind of guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm traditional like that. I don't move around too fast.
Traditional gaming values.
Sure. Traditional. Yeah. I won't cheat on games. Sure. But with each other. But yeah, so once I get this Greninja, Pokemon will be dead to me, and I'll move on to Dead Space, which is ironic because he's
as is the traditional way.
Yes, as it should be. Yeah.
You wait until they've outlived their purpose. They're dead to you. You move on to the next.
They're dead.
Tradition.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Just like Animal Crossing, those poor villagers in my town are just probably rotting away.
Yeah.
Or living it up. You never know. So I also been playing. My girlfriend is she was on TikTok the other day and she saw someone playing City Skylines, which I wish it was called City Skylines. I don't like that it's called Cities Skylines.
Yeah.
I think it's weird.
Yeah.
But she saw someone playing it and she's like, I want to play that. So he got it on the Xbox. It was on sale if anyone cares to buy it. I don't know if it's still on sale or not now, but and it's so much fun. Literally a day can fly by playing that game and you would never know it. Mm-hmm. If you need to kill time, that is the game to play. It is such a fun city builder. It is just so much fun. I get a little too... I truly believe that with too much power, you can easily become corrupt, and I have found that in myself. Like my industry district was like kind of yelling at me about taxes, and I was like, fine, then you don't get to sit here on your on this land. I choose who's here and who's not, and I got rid of them. And I was like, well, this is a little much. I guess I shouldn't do this. But yeah, it is still a lot of fun though. It's very satisfying to keep building and building, and you're this little town just gets this crazy big city. So very, very satisfying. But yeah, so Storygoers, we hope you're doing well. And actually, speaking of Storygoers, Ryan, we have a write-in today.
Woo!
Which is super exciting.
Yeah.
And it's someone that we've never met before.
Right.
Which is super duper exciting.
Even more exciting, new folks.
Yeah. So I would love to read this. Actually, Ryan, would you have the opportunity to read this?
No, please, go for it.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Aaron,
I don't want to hoard this.
No, please.
I was playing City Skylines last night when this email came in, and I was like, it was awesome to read it. So I wanted to read it. This is from Alex. He says, "Hey guys, I really love the podcast, and sorry for this being a longish email. I've been slowly working through the backlog after discovering y'all from First Encounter," which, of course, guys, if you know First Encounter, we've talked about them before. It's a great podcast. You should check them out. If you like video game stuff, they're great. Back to the email. "Who I didn't find until early last year and just got caught up in November. As I type this, I'm listening to the Spider-Man 64 episode.
It's a good one. This
podcast is honestly exactly what I wanted for a video game podcast. I enjoy video games, but from 2018 to December 2020, in parentheses, he said, I started college in 2013 right out of high school at my local community and started at a 4-year in 2018, end of parentheses. I was working on my bachelor's online while working full-time in construction, so I was only really able to play through one game a year, which ended up usually being the newest Assassin's Creed. Y'all have made it where games that I've wanted to play but haven't had the time to be able to experience the story of, especially some not as big. The Assassin's Creed series holds a special place in my heart. I grew up in a strict household and I wasn't allowed to play any M-rated games until I was 14, with the first two I was allowed to play was Oblivion and Assassin's Creed. Then, when Skyrim came out, my 8-year-old brother was allowed to play that. I've enjoyed all the AC games, and I really enjoyed the change that they started with Origins, and very much looking forward to the future of the series. So far, I'd say the episodes when you all have guests have been my favorites so far." Then he asks if we can have a sticker, which, yes, Alex, you'll be getting a sticker, I promise. I'm going to skip that part, but he does say that he has a mini fridge with a bunch of stickers on it, and he sent a picture, which is really cool. And ours will hopefully be on there now. So, but his address is on there. I don't want to say that. So, because if either of y'all are ever in the area and remember this email, feel free to email me and I can share with y'all some of my favorite local breweries and restaurants. Hope y'all are doing well and continue the podcast, Alex. So cool.
Such a sweet
Oh,
letter.
man.
Yeah, thank you, Alex.
So cool. Thank you, Alex. Alex, that's super nice of you. Yes, you'll get stickers. We emailed them back and just said, "Hey, thanks for the email. Super cool of you. Yes, you'll get a sticker." I wish I asked him though more of his perspective on Assassin's Creed, like which ones were his favorites. But he said he liked when they did the changes in Origins. So I'm curious if it's like Origins or Odyssey. But as someone who loves Unity, I feel like I'm either like loved or hated from my perspective. Yeah. So like I'm curious is like now with what's it, Mirage coming out? It's going backwards more to the Unity side of gameplay. Yeah. I'm curious what his thoughts are. So but no. And then I just want to also share too, not to overtalk, but as someone who also was limited by the availability of things because of their age range, right? Like so not the same thing. Like I was allowed to play M-rated games, I think when I was 11, I played Halo for the first time. But at like age, I'll say 11 or 12, I was roughly like 6 foot. I was super tall, like for my age, maybe not so much. I was getting close. But because I was not 13 in my mother's eyes, my bones had not developed enough to where I would withstand the impact of a possible car accident from the front seat. So I was forced to sit in the back seat, where all my other friends were allowed to sit in the front seat. So just really not fun. And then my little sister now, who obviously is younger than me, got to ride in the front seat at like 9.
That's how it
just
goes.
not fair.
That's how it goes. Yeah,
it's not fair. Ryan, you have a little sister. Does that ever happen to you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, like working in childcare. The second child and then also the third child, the rules get more and more lax as they get younger. Like you're very strict with the first child. Like they can't drink anything with sugar in them, and then you're like handing juice to the 2-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When by the third child, it's just kind of how it goes because you're very anxious about that first child, and then you're like, oh, they survived, they're okay. I'm less anxious and stressed out about the second child, and by the third, you kind of don't. They just do.
You don't even watch them anymore.
Yeah, they just kind of do their own thing. That is a large generalization that does not apply to every family, but generally, yeah, for sure, that's definitely how it goes. Yeah.
But no, I just want to say, Alex, thank you for writing in. Like we really appreciate that you feel like this is a podcast that's benefiting you, and that I feel that pain that you said. Like I can't play many games in a year. Luckily, I can play more than one. So I hopefully you get more time to play more if that's what you want.
Yeah.
But I feel that pain of not being able to play as many games as I wanted. Yeah, as time gets on, it's harder. But anyway, no, Alex, thanks for writing in. Super appreciate it. And Storygoers, if you want to write in, share your perspective, your feelings, your thoughts, feelings, and perspectives, you can email them to us at talesfromthecartridge@gmail.com. All of the E's are 3s. You can also find us on Instagram or leave a voicemail or text at our toll-free number at 207-494-4334, and we will read or listen to all those in a future episode. Be cool like Alex, I guess is the message I'm trying to send
for
here.
Sure.
Alex now has the coveted first write-in award of a person that we never actually met in real life.
Yeah.
He's not gonna get like a plaque or anything for it. Maybe one day, but not right now. But he gets to carry that title. So no one can tell him that he doesn't have it. So congratulations, Alex. I don't know if you want that or not, but it's yours.
Yeah.
And of course, to Storygoers, if you have it in your hearts to support our beautiful little podcast, you can also find us on Patreon, where we're posting exclusive scripts of the show. Those are slowly coming out. Haven't put them up in a little bit, but we will get back to those. But you can also experience the warmth of supporting your favorite podcast, which it should be us. So if it's not, then switch your perspective a little bit, make it us, and then come if you would. So if you don't mind donating just $1. So anyway, Ryan, I feel like I've talked way too much. Or would you mind doing the honors of explaining today's DLC episode?
I would love to. So if you're joining us, which you are because you're listening, we're doing a character wheel episode, which is where we roll a giant wheel, we get a bunch of characters, and they all face off over a specific topic. So in December we did Mall Santa, and in this one we are doing Best Cuddler, right? That's the topic. Yeah, the best cuddler. Yeah, best cuddler. So we're going to
time of year.
We're going to spin it is. Love is in the air. So we're going to spin a wheel. Yep. We're going to spin a wheel. Yep. Get a couple characters. Decide who's the best cuddler. We're going to do that 3 times, and then we're going to take the winners from all of those rounds to have like a super face-off final round to figure out, decisively who the best cuddler in all of video games is what we're going to be doing here. So you can like.
Well, this is what we get.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's pretty definitive. I think the system's pretty flawless. So like you can add that to a wiki somewhere, or some game could put that on the back of their box. Yeah, nominated by Tales from the Cartridge as having the best cuddling video game character. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that's a prestigious award. But yeah, so
think about like Mortal Kombat, where like people are like standing in front of each other, like ready to fight, and it's like fight, and they all jump in and they start cuddling each other, and like who's cuddling? Oh, like Scorpion's cuddling him so hard. Like that's the kind of what we're going for here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. For sure.
No, I think the idea is like you just got home.
Yeah.
Right. It's been a rough day.
Yeah.
You need some physical embrace, but we're not going that far yet. We just got home, right?
Yeah.
We need to cuddle. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Right? And we're not talking about just one form of cuddling here. We're going to try to like think about all the different ways, all the different perspectives here. Whose physical embrace will be the most beneficial to have? I think after a hard day's work, you just really want some like physical connection. Is that what I'm thinking?
Yeah, it's been a tough day, and you're coming home, and you just need someone to comfort you with their body in a non-sexual way.
we gotta mark this M-rated
platonic. Just making someone feel good, but in a platonic way.
I'll take over, Ryan. I think what okay, I gotta pull it together. So basically, we're looking at like who just provides the best physical connection through the means of cuddling, right? Exclusively, yeah. And I think that's kind of the prerogative that we have. I don't know if we want to set any more perimeters around this, but we're gonna just kind of jump in and kind of figure it out as we go.
I think as we always do, we kind of as it develops, we come up with what our criteria as we go, as we see what is laid before us, because we could make a criteria ahead of time, but then none of the characters could have arms, and then we've like, you know what I mean? Everything is falling apart. So I think like let's see what we have, and then we'll use what we have, which I'm sure is how most things are done, right? That's probably how rating scales are made. You see what the answers to the tests are, and then you make the grading scale.
That's how it's done here at Tails. That's perfect. I love it. All right, well then, are you ready to just jump right into it, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hold on, let me watch the stream here so I can see this.
Okay, yeah, I put my stream on. I shared my stream with you, Ryan. I just hope my internet keeps going with it. So, here we go. I'm going to click the wheel. It's spinning.
It's a lot of names on that wheel.
A lot of names. See what happens. First, we have Sackboy from Little Big Planet. Okay, good one so far.
What a good one.
And then next is going or spinning. Will they put the sound effects in as always? We'll see. We have I don't know about this one. I don't know if we want to. Maybe we need to skip this one. Did you see it, right?
No, I can't see it. It's not.
Oh, it says it's Atreus. I think Atreus might be a little too young.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair.
Is that okay?
I think as a rule, anybody who is maybe like under a consenting age, should maybe just take out, or like who can't consent because they're not old enough
I like
to
that
do
rule.
so. That feels, which again, I don't know the age of an amorphous, you like Sackboy, but we're gonna assume they're of sound mind and able to,
I don't want to get canceled right after getting our write-in.
Sure.
Very proud of it. And then to get canceled right after that would just be devastating.
Okay, so, that feels fair.
Okay, so we're going to spin it one more time. We have Sackboy so far. We're spinning it again. Let's see what we get. Okay. It's the Wall Rider from the Outlast series.
No. Okay.
Cool. All right. This will be interesting, to say the least. Okay, so Ryan, do you want to start with one of them?
I can certainly start with Sackboy. I mean, Wall Rider, I have vague ideas of. Sackboy, I think, is a pretty easy to come up with some positives. Like, is soft, right? They are made of a felt. Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's maybe like a coarse. Like, it's like,
I'm thinking like a potato sack material.
I guess. Yeah, it could be a little bit
unforgiving.
Abrasive. Yeah, but also... Sure. Okay, so, I mean, it's made of fabric, for sure. Okay, the thing we have to also parse out here is size, right?
That's what I was thinking.
Sackboy in the games is like the size of a can of soda. Or like, you know what I mean? Like 6 inches tall. So that...
Let's see. I'll see if we can get official measurement of Sackboy. Yeah. Just hold on.
All right. So, like, made of fabric, full of fuzz.
Yep. Full fuzz.
Has lots of great outfits.
All right. So Ryan is a little bit smaller than you thought. He's 7 to 8 centimeters tall.
Okay. What is that in American size?
That's a good. Isn't centimeters? See, I'm bad. I'm so bad at math. This is good. So bad.
So centimeters is imperial. We oftentimes will use. So less than 3 inches tall. Okay.
All right, so it's very, 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 very small.
like
Less
the
than
size
3
of your
inches.
finger.
Okay, I mean, you can cuddle a finger,
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay,
So-
lots of great outfits, full of fuzz, native fabric.
Very happy, right?
Very
He's always
happy.
just kind of happy to be there.
Yeah, for sure. Resilient. I mean, like, you could, like, rip Sackboy apart and then just poof, pop back. You know what I mean?
I thought you said Brazilian, and I was like, I would love for you to explain that one to me, because I didn't know that.
I don't know. No, I don't know their country of origin. Specifically. Okay. Fabric, fuzzy, lots of great outfits, size of finger. What else do we have here?
Pros and cons?
For sure, yeah.
He's not generating a lot of heat from the cuddle itself.
True, yeah.
Unless your toe is like super cold, like one individual toe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like...
Or one finger or ear.
Yeah. It kind of has the vibes of like a stuffed animal, like a tiny stuffed animal.
Yeah.
But like a very tiny stuffed animal, right? That you're like holding and like cuddling to your face. I think there is some comfort to be derived from it, but I don't know if it's the most cozy.
I think it's more of the feeling that you're getting from that cuddle rather than the physical sensation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I mean, I'd like to jump then to the Wall Rider if that's okay.
Okay, I would love to hear more about this.
So, the Wall Rider, if memory serves, which typically it doesn't, so this would be interesting. Wall Rider is essentially like a ghost, right? Inhabiting a human body. But the human body doesn't really count, right? The Wall Rider is a ghost. From our fantastic story that we covered, that if you haven't listened to it, you know, what are you doing? You should listen to it. It's a great episode. The Wall Rider he has a very I'm gonna say they, because I don't know if it's the Wall Rider has a gender, but the Wall Rider has the ability to grab onto things physically, as they ripped off the arms of what's his face, Chris Waller, the massive naked man who chases you throughout the Last of Us game. So they can touch you, but do they generate warmth?
I mean, with the science we have, the very conclusive science we have about ghosts, generally they make cold areas, right? That's what all the very good ghost science says, is they make cold.
Do you think, Ryan, if that is true, right? If Ghost Adventures has taught us anything, which I've never watched an episode, if that is true that ghosts, if they do generate cold, would that be the moment to then incorporate the blanket? To bring in the cuddle even closer, right?
Yeah.
That's a good excuse.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, the challenge is the benefit of a blanket is it's to trap heat inside an area. You're then trapping cold. You're kind of making, like, a refrigerator, right? You're like, trapping cold, something that generates cold in with something that generates warmth together. I guess whichever is stronger is what's going to... But yeah, it's certainly an excuse to say, hey, it's pretty chilly, let's get underneath this blanket? Is that that kind of the scenario you're envisioning? Like, you come home, they hug you, brr, let's go get under the blanket. That's like what the...
Yeah. Like, you sit down, you're like, hey, we want to cuddle? We can get a blanket, and the Wall Rider's like, ugh, and you're like, okay. You know?
Yeah, do they have words? Can they speak?
No, I don't think so.
Which, Sackboy, I don't think can either.
Okay, so I mean, hopefully you don't like conversation. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Hopefully this person does not like conversation, because they're not going to get any.
Yeah.
So, I worry about the lethal severity of cuddling the Wall Rider. Granted that they do rip off arms, and they seem very upset all the time.
Can you see them?
Yes, they do have like a physical body that you do see.
Okay.
But then again, too, spoiler alert for Outlast, right? That the Wall Rider does possess hosts, like can possess you, and it's not a good time. It's not a good time. So like, that's like the ultimate cuddle.
I was gonna say, is that like well?
I mean, that.
Like they are, you know, as close to you as they ever will be, and like. It was a negative experience for some people, but could the Wall Rider make it a positive experience? Now, this is maybe outside the purview of what we know and have information on, but...
That's true, though.
You are getting very close. Is that comforting, though, I guess? Is it comforting to be possessed by a ghost?
For some, I imagine it would be, actually. I feel like you and I probably would not feel that way, but I have to imagine in the world of people in this crazy place we call Earth, there has to be one person.
But like, I mean, I think when we're looking at these two, you have a small 3-inch fuzzy man, and you have a fuzzy being. Again, we do not know the gender of Sackboy, so we have a small fuzzy being, 3-inch fuzzy being, and then you'll have a in some way visible ghost being. One can't really, is very tiny. One could possess you.
I guess it just depends on your views of what you want out of the cuddle. Do you want the emotional warmth of this cute little sack stuffed animal thing holding your finger?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or do you need more of the intimate connection of a somewhat human body ghost thing holding on to you and potentially going to possess you and use your body?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think, do we get, philosophical here? And, like, if you pull 100 people, what is going to make the most people happy? Is that the metric do we want to go by? Or do we want to go by, if you find the person who's really into a Sackboy and the person who's really into a wall rider, which of those persons is going to be the most satisfied by the experience?
I think you got to look at it in just the, when you think of a good cuddle, right? And the feelings you get from that, whether it is the need of the physical touch or the warmth or just the emotional connection, right? Like, which one is going to satisfy a person best?
Because I think there's also part of a cuddle that is not just, I think, like we're kind of alluding to, that physical contact, but the intimacy that comes from being close to someone who cares about you in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
And which of these is going to better express that experience?
Okay. Ryan, I got my answer. That was beautiful.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay.
Do you have your answer?
I think so.
Okay. All right. We'll count down from 3.
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Sackboy? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. When you put it like that, right, Ryan? Like when you said, like, like just that connection and just the overall like happiness of being a part of this cuddle, right? Sackboy would just be all smiles and be so happy to see you. I feel like.
Yeah.
Whereas the wall rider, I would question. I feel like the wall rider would be that partner that's like annoyed like 5 minutes into a cuddle, like they're done with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no, where you going? Like, oh, why you? I don't know why it sounds like Frankenstein or whatever. I just feel like this. I feel like the wall rider would not be super down for it. More of a means to an end kind of thing. Like, you know, he's the wall rider is the kind of partner where like they cuddle with you for 5 minutes and then they ask for $5. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they think they've earned something. Whereas Sackboy would just be in it because they want to be with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what you're looking for in a cuddler.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we agree there. Okay, cool. We've got our first winner. What a round. Okay.
What a round. All right, round 2. Who could possibly beat Sackboy other than the other normal heighted people on this list? All right, next one is Geralt of Rivia from the Witcher series. Interesting.
Okay, that's an interesting one. I'm excited for that conversation.
All right, and we are spinning the wheel again. It is slowing down, and we have Ganondorf from The Legend of Zelda. 2 very masculine characters. I shouldn't say masculine. Should I? I don't know.
Masculine presenting characters.
Yes,
I would say, right? They present masculine. Yeah, they are masculine presenting. Definitely.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna jump into Ganon.
Please do. I think you're
sentence.
I think you're gonna be. I think you're gonna be the Ganon expert here. Have you played The Witcher 3? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. So we both have probably equal knowledge on Geralt, and then you have some Ganon expertise you're bringing here. Okay, great.
Yeah. I think so. Ganon, there's no confirmed love interest of Ganon. So my first worry for Ganon is that he has no idea what a cuddle is. He probably thinks it's like some kind of like magical power. And in a sense, he's right. Because what cuddle isn't, right? Mm-hmm. No. All right, that's bad. But Ganon... Now, we're talking about Ganondorf. I should probably preface this, right? Ganondorf is the human version, right? Ganon is the giant pig monster. That's not who we're talking about. We're talking about the human version of the bearer of the Triforce of Power here. So I think the classic like, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, more. You can even say Wind Waker. He's kind of, and Wind Waker might honestly be the best one for this because he's kind of like a bigger guy. He's a lot more to give.
Yeah,
kind of a lot warmer. I don't know. He does have the Triforce of Power. You did put power down, and that caught me off guard a little bit. Right?
Sorry.
With great power, though, do you think he's vulnerable? And that's what I wonder. I think he would have a hard time being vulnerable.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be our biggest challenge here, not to get too into Geralt. I think both of these characters have this really good characteristics of they can make you feel comfortable and safe. They could keep you safe, and in their arms, you would feel comfortable and safe. I don't know, though. That vulnerability, I think, is going to be what makes or break both of these individuals. Their emotional intelligence and understanding of how to be vulnerable.
I feel like with Ganondorf, his partner would be like, "Hey Ganon," or they like some like pet name like, "Hey Dorothy," or I don't know. Yeah. They'd be like, "Can you want to cuddle?" And he's like, "Oh, I had a rough." Dorothy, I had a rough day trying to kill this kid dressed in all green like an idiot. And they're like, okay, well, let's come over here and talk to me about it. I feel like if his partner initiated the cuddle, right, his idea of what this would look like, he'd probably just like bind them in a pink crystal like he does with all the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All the other people he prisons, he puts them in a crystal thing. That's like comfort, right? Like that's protection. But it's not, right? Then you're just, yeah. Oh, he's an avoidant.
Avoidant. Yeah. Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, no problem. Bring it to the therapy. Yeah, I think he's avoidant because he's not really going for the things that are going to make him happy, right? He ends up going for things that really just end up hurting him in the end, like ruling all of Hyrule. Hyrule's not even that big. Yeah. Why do you want to, why? Like, there's so many better things. Like, invest it in, like, the pottery barn. I don't know. Like, I don't know what that was.
Like, going back to that, like, what possible benefit can there be to ruling Hyrule other than the title, right? That is not, an economic powerhouse. There is, literally a single city. With 3 shops. You know what I mean? Like, it is not, it does not have this, limitless army. They've got just a bunch of guards, right? They get saved by a kid every once in a while. So, I don't know the benefit.
I think he's the kind of guy that just would not want to go in. He'd be too busy in his own mind. He wouldn't be able to settle down and give a good cuddle. Though I think physically he could provide one. I just think emotionally he's not there. And that's important in a good cuddle.
I mean, he cares so much about the ruling of Hyrule that he, does it forever, right?
I mean, yeah, essentially. There's never been a Ganondorf that I know of, at least. That could be what we're thinking.
Yet,
yeah. There's the people will have speculated that the one in Tears of the Kingdom will be somehow a nice one. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think, but going to the idea, right, of best cuddler, right? I guess let's simplifying it. If Ganon did cuddle, right? I think he would be in that he'd be that mentality of having to be like the big spoon, right? Sure. I can't see Ganon allowing, unless he could. Maybe there's a chance, but I just think I find it low. I find the chance of it low that he'd want to be the little spoon.
Yeah,
he wants power. He wants control. I think he might be the big spoon. I think he'd only want to cuddle in the way that he wants to cuddle. He wouldn't be kind of like trying to like compromise with his partner. It's his way or the highway kind of mentality.
Yeah,
and that's why I think he would provide a good like hold. Mm-hmm. He's got some nice big arms, right, to cuddle with. But I think that he's lacking in a lot of the areas you need for a good cuddle.
Yeah, that emotional availability, that intimacy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think those things are missing. Yeah.
Ryan, what do you think about Geralt?
I think there are similar. Yes, there are similar. I think there are some similar challenges with Geralt in that they are emotionally cold for the most part. They have that strength, that powerful body that they could comfort you physically with. I think if you look at the majority of Geralt's life, I think you'd find very similar experiences of that avoidant attachment, that kind of coldness, that disinterest in that kind of vulnerability and sense of connection. But then you get to, later parts of his life where he, has a long-term relationship with Yennefer. He has a young girl who he takes care of and cares about. There is a vulnerability. Whether the reasons behind him caring about this person and about Yennefer are clouded because I don't know why there just can't be an open happy relationship there. But like they're both clouded in like these like fates and mystery or like genie wishes or whatever. But I think there is examples of emotional availability and caring for others that I think Geralt has demonstrated in his time. He has, thought about others, and he certainly is cold. I think, like Ganon, are both dealing with traumas that they've had to experience, and because of that are emotionally unavailable. But I think Geralt is maybe starting to see the value in caring about others. He has other people in his life who aren't just tools to him. Right, he has people he would consider friends, or he enjoys spending time with, and who he loves and cares about. That I think is gonna make a little bit of a difference there.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I will say though, I think for Geralt that they've kind of established in the world of, at least in The Witcher 3, maybe if I remember correctly, he is like the most like emotionally connected Witcher. Like he isn't like kind of like. He is able. He shows. I think what it's about Geralt is that he shows affection, but just in his own way. It's not the quote unquote normal way, though I would question what that even means. But I think for Geralt, he shows in the way that he can. He does care for people. He wants to keep people close to protect them. Again, he's kind of cold. He's hot and cold with other people. Depending on how you play Geralt, he's a little bit of a womanizer. If you went back and forth between Triss and Yennefer, but anyway. The point is, though, is I think that he would do great. All right, Ryan, can you imagine, like, say Geralt, right, cuddling with whoever, right, because he's cuddling, that's the whole point. There's a fireplace in front of him, and he uses his Igni spell and lights the fire from the cuddle. Oh, my God, what a cuddle that would be.
Right.
I was like, Ganon would have to do... I think Ganon would probably do something similar, but it'd probably be more grotesque, I feel like. But anyway.
Definitely, yeah, and I think Geralt has been in romantic situations where, again, we've seen that vulnerability that we just haven't seen in Garen's character in the media that we have access to. I think, yes, he has, and I think that might just be too that I don't think Ganon is as we've seen him as emotionally complex as Geralt is as a character.
Yeah,
but
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
I have my answer. I'm ready.
Yeah, same. I think this.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Geralt.
Yeah, for sure. Geralt Rivia, I think, is the choice here.
And I think if Ganon was just allowed to live, he had that. If someone was like, you don't have to rule Hyrule, I think really gave him that talk that he needed. I think he could. I think he could become that person. Yeah. The healthy partner that he could be. But I think he's the workaholic. You know what I mean?
For sure.
The mentality. Yeah. And that's just a rough go about. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
All right, so far our winners are Sackboy and I almost said Gandorf and Geralt of Rivia.
Yeah, back to the wheel. Back to the
wheel.
Yep.
Last spin. Fingers crossed for Tony Hawk. That would be fantastic for us.
That would be very good. I would love that.
The next one is Ken from Street Fighter.
Okay.
All right.
A lot of burly boys.
Yeah. What's up with this?
Yeah.
This wheel has many different kinds of characters, not just all burly boys, I promise. And then, this is going to be a super hard one. Dante from Devil May Cry.
Okay.
Oh, he's so hard. I just want to make all of the just most inappropriate jokes right now. But I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to just keep it inside.
Holding it together. Yeah. I think I'm at a bit of a. My knowledge of these characters is very slim.
Oh, okay. Well, I can give you the rundown.
Very slim. So I think I'm going to need some help here in understanding these characters.
So Ken is like that classic like frat boy kind of mentality. He's not. I have to say this word. All right, bear with me, folks. He's not a douche. You know what I mean? Like he's not like a jerk about it. He's just kind of like that cool dude. Like he's almost like the Fonzie of Street Fighter. You know what I mean? Like he has his I think it's if I watch enough fighting games, Shoryuripa, which is his flaming uppercut, right? So like he can also throw flames for some reason. Like everyone can throw flames, I guess. He's very cool. He has like really, I think now he's divorced technically in Street Fighter 6. And he's like living on the streets because he was framed, but whatever. He has been in very serious relationships. He has a child. He was married. He's fantastic shape. Like he's jacked. Ripped, I guess. I don't know. And he does show an emotional connection to these people, right? He does show an emotional connection to his wife and his child. So that's very important. Ryan put ripped boy with a B-O-I-I-I. I really appreciate that. I feel like that was important. So Dante is more emotionally closed off. As far as I know, he has not had any significant actual relationships, though he is the epitome of cool. Like, he can just do the coolest things that no one else could do. He can, like, flip things up and, like, Devil May... What was the last one? I don't know. Devil May Cry 4 or 5. 4? 5. He got a motorcycle and he's just, like, flipping it all around and just and he's just so cool. Like, nothing... he doesn't really, like, get hurt that often unless you're, at least not in, like, the cutscenes. Like, he's just awesome. Like, he's kind of like that bad boy... that you're like, here it goes. And I don't care what person takes offense to this. I think so. He's that person that people are like, I want the bad boy with a nice heart that isn't actually real. That's Dante, right? He's the bad boy with a big heart. Like, that's like, you know what I mean? He's that guy. Which is why he's only attainable in a video game, because he's not a real person. If that's what you want in a partner, then I sympathize with you. I encourage you to try to find someone else healthier, but whatever. So that's what we have here, right? We have the really cool Street Fighter, dude dressed in his karate gi, right? He probably just got done fighting people, and he's all warm and toasty, right? And sweaty probably. And then you have Dante, who probably just killed a bunch of demons. He's also probably warm, toasty, and sweaty. And he would. All right, I'm going to jump right in this, Ryan. I'm talking too much. Please jump in.
Please do. No, please. No, I need your help here, Eric. I do not know these characters well enough to... I know I have images of them in my head, but I have no context to who they are as characters.
So Dante's the kind of guy in the game where, like, if things say a monster smashes the table and things go flying up and Dante goes flying up, he'd be like twisting and turning and throwing things and killing things perfectly, right? Like, he's kind of everywhere and like able to do all those things. So if his emotional partner, or his partner, I mean, not emotional partner, but his partner was like, Dante, you want to cuddle? He would like backflip, walk up the wall, shoot some monsters like 6 miles away, twist in the air, and then land perfectly next to his partner, initiating the cuddle, right? And he would cuddle perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Dante is a giver. He's not really a taker in that regard. Like, I don't think he would really, like, he might be like, oh, I don't really cuddle like that, but I'll do it for you. Like, kind of like guy, I could see that. You know what I mean? Or having some kind of like quippy response to it, but then still kind of goes for it. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, which gives that bad boy with the big heart mentality, right? So like, he's that. Yeah, he would initiate the cuddle in a really cool way, and then she's like, say like, oh, I wish I had like, oh, the remote's over there. We can't reach it because we're cuddling. He would like take out his gun, flip it around in his hand, shoot like the bottom, just the perfect angle where it would like ricochet the remote off the wall and then into his hand. Like, that's how he would do. You know what I mean? Like, he would be the epitome of cool with the cuddle. Ken, however, would be that guy that's like, he would not be backflipping off into the couch, right? He would probably destroy the couch. He's not that like nimble, I don't think, but he is that cool, more realistic guy of like, he just took a shower, he came out like, hey, I feel like I haven't really talked to you in a while, do you want to cuddle? And then he comes over and just cuddles with you, and it's probably really nice. I think I could also see him being a giver rather than a taker. This is hard. I feel like I'm just backing myself into a corner talking about this. I don't know who to pick.
Yeah, they both seem pretty lovely. They both seem very nice and very, very lovely.
Yeah.
So I think so again, our metric so far has been like emotional intelligence and investment, which I think it sounds like both of them have. That like physical sense of, feeling safe or comforted by this individual, which it sounds like both of these have. So I guess it's like, what is our metric that we are rating these two specifically on? That kind of swings it one way or the other.
I think something really important to talk about here is that, like, when you talk about the characters themselves, right, doing something, Dante is kind of always perfect in what he does. Like, he just does everything at 110%. Like, he makes it look easy, which is like something that's so interesting about Dante. He always looks like he kind of has control of the situation. Like he never looks upset or like he's struggling. And that's what's so interesting about Dante. So I feel like if he was giving a cuddle, it would be just the cuddle. Like he would somehow just know how to do this. You know what I mean? Like he would just, even if he never had cuddled before, he would be able to initiate this cuddle, and it would be just the coolest. Like nothing he does is really like lame or bad. You know what I mean? So it would be a great cuddle. You kind of know it going into it. But I think his emotional maturity, though probably is a little bit higher than most characters, is still somewhat low in regards to next to Ken, who has been in a committed relationship and married and has a child, right? Ken would not be giving, in my opinion, as good of a cuddle as Dante, but it would still be a good cuddle. You know what I mean? Like, and there would be that emotional attachment, because he is pretty suave. He's like,
right.
Who's that guy? Who's the guy on all the covers of the romantic novels? Fabio?
Fabio?
Fabio. But he's like a Street Fighter Fabio. But more like you know, like fighting guy. You know what I mean? The long blonde hair, ripped. He doesn't have an accent, I don't think. He's American. Well, Americans have accents. You know what I mean?
Sorry,
exactly. Everybody else.
I hear Do you think like so you have these two individuals, like if you're having a bad day and they're doing one of them is cutting you in this really flashy way that is perfect. One of them is cutting you in the best way that they can. Is still successful. You can tell that there's like, do you think those are both equally as satisfying? And is there anything that would push either of them over the edge, or do we need to look at like a more long-term cuddle experience?
No, I think when you come from the parameter only, it's not the intent of what comes after. It's not about. Yeah. It's not. It's just the sensation, the physical and emotional connectedness of a cuddle. Who would provide it best? I think I know my answer now from just saying that.
Okay. Wow. I'm really unsure here.
And it's hard.
I don't feel like I know these characters well enough to fully understand the depth of their cuddling abilities. So I think I could I could pick one of them, but I don't think it would be meaningful. I don't think I know enough about either one. I'll still make a guess, and we'll see how it shakes out. But I think I may end up defaulting to you, as you seem to have a much better understanding of these characters.
Okay, I respect that decision. That's very mature of you, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, so we'll count down from 3. 3, 2, 1. Dante. Dante. If you're talking about the act of cuddling, what better way, right? Ken would be a great cuddler. I want everyone to know that as a Street Fighter fan out there, that I think Ken would be a great cuddler. I'm not knocking him. I feel like the worst matchup for him though is Dante. Like Dante, if you sat down and you're like, "Hey Dante, you want to cuddle?" He'd be like, "Yeah, 1 second." He would flip off the wall, twist in the air, land next to you, like some crazy thing, and what a way to start a cuddle. I would be excited to have a cuddle that way. Like if I knew that, he would just walk up all super cool, like and sit next to you, like, wow, this guy's cool. You know, like that is like the best way to initiate. And then again, he's good at everything. There's like nothing he's bad at. I think, you know, like he's just cool. He's like the epitome of cool. So he would probably give, in my opinion, the best cuddle because like he's just good at everything.
Okay, we have our 3.
I really want to know. I'm sorry, goers, please let me know if I'm right or wrong here. I would love to know perspectives on this one. I'm really torn. If someone thinks Ken's a better cuddler, please write in. I need to know. But you don't get to say right now because we're recording this and you have no idea. So you'll have to say that after the fact.
Yeah, it's not live.
It's all live. All right.
Okay.
Ryan, can you please read our final participants?
Final participants, the undisputed best cuddler in all of video game media is going to be either Sackboy, Gilda or Dante. Sackboy from the Little Big Planet series, Gilda from the Witcher series, and Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Yeah. 3 pretty different characters, all masculine, male presenting.
Characters. I mean, Sackboy. I think boy's in his name. In their name, right?
Boy is in the name. They have pretty androgynous in how they
dress up like
look.
Yeah.
They dress up like anything.
Yeah.
There is boy in their name, but again, that could also be a misnomer. That could not necessarily describe. They're androgynous in their and malleable in their form.
Yeah.
Their name is Sackboy. So that's a good assumption. That's a good correction. Yeah. Thank you.
No worries. I think that was appropriate. I think that you did a good job with that. Yeah. So Sackboy, Girl, and Dante. Do you want to just focus on the positives first, and we'll kind of pit them against each other a little bit?
Yeah. Let's focus on positive, pit against each other, and then we'll see see if we can eliminate one or two of them
I agree.
and kind of go from there.
One or two.
Okay, cool.
Possibly two. We'll see.
Possibly two. Yeah, let's see.
It's a tie. I think Sackboy, if I'm going to start with Sackboy really fast, would be they would be this figure of just unbounding affection, right? What they lack in size would be what they give in affection. Like, though that little cuddle will be, what did I say, 6 to 7 centimeters tall?
3 inches.
3 inches tall,
inches.
right? Though it'll be, that little cuddle will be 3 inches tall, that would be a significant. You would feel loved, I think. Like, you could feel the intensity of that cuddle. I can see a little bit of that kind of cute, cuddly, like, head rubbing against the finger kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, Ryan, you just put perfectly. Would you guys see what you wrote down?
Yeah, so as you're describing this, Eric, what comes to my mind is like a dog, like dog energy, right? Like they are just endlessly happy to see you. They will do anything to make you feel better and comforted. They may not have like the emotional intelligence to understand what's wrong or like the ability to communicate with you, but they are just there for you no matter what to help comfort you.
Yeah.
Just because they're a being that cares about you. They don't have, these other more complex, as far as we are aware, these complex emotional understanding of what's going on, but they're just there to be there for you and to give you all of their love and attention.
Yeah, 100%. I think that literally puts it perfectly. Like that dog energy, I think is perfect. Like that's just unrelenting, unbound care and affection in that cuddle. Like that, though it's small, the cuddle is warm. You know what I mean? Not physically, but emotionally. Physically, it's very cold because there's very small, but it is what it is.
They don't generate their own.
That's when the blanket comes in and you just make it work. Yeah,
right. Right. Yeah.
Do you want to try Geralt?
Yeah, I'll do Geralt. So Geralt, I think, has, of my understanding, again, I don't know Dante that well. Of my understanding, has the most emotional intelligence here. Will be able to most complexly comfort you. Will be able to, if you were to say, you could say to Geralt, I don't want to talk. I just would like you to hold me and make me feel better. Or Geralt, I really need you to just lay down with me, cuddle me, and hear me. Or let's just not say anything and just cuddle. I think he'd be able to understand and give you what you needed in that moment in a way that he might be a little bit uncomfortable with, but would do if they care about you. So I think there's that. I think different than Sackboy, they are strong and big and powerful, and so they would be able to comfort you in that way as well.
Can I challenge that a do, if that's okay?
Please,
and
do.
There's nothing against you because
you
you haven't played Devil May Cry. I think Dante could fit that role.
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean? I keep having this thing in my head. Yeah. I can just picture Geralt sitting down. Sorry, we're talking about positives. I'm going to go right to the negatives. I'm sorry. I want to get that off my chest.
It's okay.
I can see them sitting down, Geralt sitting down with whoever, and then the person's like, Geralt, tell me about your day. And he's like, I killed monsters. And he's like, okay, how'd that go? It was hard. Got me, and I had to take a potion to raise my vitality, and I killed it. I chopped its head off, put it on my horse Roach, and we rode into town, and I got paid. And they're like, okay. Of course, then they'd be like, Dante, how's your day? Oh, it was all right, babe. Like, I killed a bunch of demons, cut off their heads, doing all these things. So really, they're both telling awful stories at a time of not needing that. Yeah. Unless you're into that sort of thing. But.
Yeah. Right. But maybe not fully understanding what is wanted from the other person or able to completely offer what they're wanting, but are both trying their best.
Right.
And with maybe equal ability. Okay, that's good to know. That's a good correction.
I think Dante would be cooler with it, but Garrett would be more realistic.
Yeah. Sure. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, Dante. Again, it sounds like Dante, and again, I'm just based off on your description and like some peripheral knowledge. Sounds like Dante just wants to kind of be the best at whatever he does at all times.
Kind of, yeah. Without showing it. Without showing that he wants it. He just kind of is it. You know what I mean?
He is it. Yeah. Okay. Is successful in everything.
Basically,
okay.
Yeah. Like if he had to unclog a toilet, he would do it in just the best way. You know what I mean? But that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That should be one of those episodes.
Sure.
Though. That should be an episode one day.
We'll have to add it. Yeah.
We'll have to add to the docket in 2 months. For our episode in 2 months from now. But no, I think we talk about best cuddle, right? And we're talking about physical connection, we're talking emotional connection, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the intimacy and physical connection that comes from that cuddling experience. How that makes you feel. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
The feeling you get, which of these experiences makes you feel the most comforted and the best in that situation if you've come home from a hard day.
I have a radical. I am ready to eliminate. If you're not, it's okay. We can keep talking about it.
No, okay. No, talk me through this.
Do you want me to tell you who I'm thinking?
Yeah.
I am feeling as though one of these characters has lowered a little bit compared to the other two, right? We're talking about physical connection, physical affection, and emotional affection, right? I think one of these characters lacks... I think one character has the best physical, one character has the best emotional, and one is lacking in both. And I think the one that lacks in both is Geralt of Rivia. And I know I'm going to be hated for this. I think that, again, I keep going back to the I killed monsters. Like, he wouldn't have any other conversation really. He'd be like, "What else did you do today?" "I rode around on my horse." And then it's like, okay, but that's not even the point. Like, he would give a good cuddle, but like, is he emotionally there? I'm not sure. Whereas Sackboy is giving like this amazing little cuddle, right? We have this big emotional connection in the cuddle, right? A lot of dog energy, like you said, Ryan.
Yeah.
Or Dante, who's the best physical, who's kind of like there and really cool and flipping around stuff and like doing things like that, and then kind of initiates the cuddle, and that's like perfect. So I feel like Geralt lacks both. But I'm curious. What do you?
All right.
What do you think?
Again, I don't have the context of Dante's experiences to, I think, fully speak to this. To this experience. I don't know if I can... it's hard for me to argue against comparing Dante and Geralt because I only know one of these characters.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. We went off for a second. Ryan watched the intro to Devil May Cry 3. Where
I needed to do some research.
Yeah, we did some quick research. Saw when Dante's in his Devil May Cry building and he's killing a bunch of weird ghost scythe zombie men. Or guys, dudes, people. I don't know. And he makes it look super easy. He's shooting off, pool balls in the air and flipping around. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm saying, right? He makes it look effortless in his time. So he would be flipping and dipping and jumping in the air and then landing next to the cuddle.
By the time he lands, you'd have everything you need for like the next 3 days type thing. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think I think I agree, especially if you're looking at like this experience. Not focusing on anything else other than this one cuddle experience, what is going to be the best bang for your buck. I think you're right. Because I think Geralt needs emotional investment already pre-established before he'd even start to show any warmth. Yeah. But I think Dante, just out of the joy of the challenge and wanting to create the best experience possible, would just right out the gate do an incredible job. Yeah. Kind of almost similar dog energy, right? Like not necessarily emotionally. Again, I go maybe not because I don't know his like narrative, but like I'm gonna do the best job because I want to show you I can do the best job possible because I care about you.
More like I'm just gonna be cool about it, but maybe the undertone is that is what you're saying, like the undertone that isn't really talked about a whole lot, but on the surface is like, look how cool I can be. Whoa! And just flipping around everywhere. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of mentality. Yeah. So I don't think Geralt had the emotional. The emotional positive energy that Sackboy would give, along with then Dante's amazing physical energy that he would give in the cuddle. I think Geralt lacks in both of those, so I would have to say Geralt.
Cool. Yeah, I feel good about that. Let's get Geralt out of here. Bam. Down to Sackboy and Devil May Cry. And this is kind of like the challenge with this is these are like two different experiences. Yeah. Like what is it? Do you want just like?
Go ahead. I think I have something I want to say. That I just had this realization. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I've become a cuddle expert in this conversation. We're an hour and 4 minutes in. What I realized though is that what is a cuddle? What is a cuddle without it being physical in some way, right? The physical part is so important because then anything is a cuddle, right? Like if it wasn't for the physical aspect of holding another person in your arms, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And I think that's so important. And that while Dante is very cool. And he is Dante's very cool, right? He's physical. He's able to do all those things, right? He's able to physically sit with somebody and hold them in his arms and be emotionally available enough to give them hopefully a satisfying emotional connection and means he could talk. He's good at conversations, right? I think Sackboy, 1, cannot talk. 2 is very, 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 very small. It only like be 3 inches.
3 inches.
Though we'll have the love and intensity of the bestest little boy dog. It wouldn't be enough to justify as the best cuddle. So I think I personally, and I'm curious what you think, Ryan. This by no means is the answer, right? If you disagree, I support that. I think that Dante would be the best cuddler.
Yeah, I can certainly see what you're saying. I think like there is and I think for me the biggest challenge is the size difference. When you have 3 inches is the max of your height, I don't, again, the comfort is more from holding the thing close to you than being enveloped by the thing. And if the comfort is what you're looking for, of having that, enveloped, feeling safe, feeling comforted, I don't think Sackboy could provide that. Sackboy could provide the, all the comfort of like your favorite stuffed animal that you're holding while you sleep, but I don't know if it would be that same level as a full-on body of a full-size being.
Yeah, I agree.
I certainly can see that. Yeah, that's a completely fair assessment. I think, like, and especially if you look at this one moment in time, like if we're focusing on like this specific cuddle experience, like you're walking in the door, they're both there, or they're in 2 separate, situations. Like if you're talking about over like a week or a decade, I think like the Dante, that would maybe wear off. Its charm would wear off. The amount of over-the-top big action when all you want is somebody to come and hold you.
That's true.
But if it was just a one-time experience where this is your only cuddle experience with this individual, I think it's gonna knock your socks off, right? I think it's gonna be, this incredible experience.
Oh, well, now am I wrong about Geralt then? Are you right that maybe the flippy dippy is
no,
too much?
because again, I think we're looking at, and we defined this is one cuddle experience.
Okay, all right.
That's what is the most bang for your buck from one cuddle experience.
I'm paying for a good cuddle.
I think if you're talking about long-term emotional support and intimacy and physical contact, I think it's going to a different conversation.
None of these guys.
I think we have to... exactly, yeah. I mean, I think in that case, Sackboy, because there's no emotional baggage that's coming with it, right? Every time you want to cuddle, they're there for you. But if we're looking at this one incredible cuddle experience, I think you're right, and that Dante's is going to be impressive and comforting, and you'll have everything you need. I think if they were to do that every day for a week, it might lose some of its charm. But I think if you're looking at this one cuddle experience, I think it's going to be the most satisfying.
All right, then are we in agreement then?
I think we are. I think under the context of what we have going on here, I think we are.
Okay, all right, then it's official. Storygoers, the best cuddler in all video games that we have established is Dante from Devil May Cry, and that actually might be the most that might be the most real answer, honestly. That's pretty perfect in a lot of ways. So I think I feel confident with that answer. That feels good to me.
Yeah, feel good about it. Yeah, definitely.
We backed it with a very loose based science, and I think it became a really, really good answer.
For sure. Yeah.
So Dante is our winner, but storygoers, of course, if you disagree with us, right, you can write in like Alex did. Alex is so cool, and he wrote in. So if you want to write into, you can by sending us an email at talesfromthecartridge@gmail.com. All the E's in that email are 3s. I know you're thinking, I probably should never have done that in the beginning. That was 2 years ago. All right, you can yell at 2 years ago, Eric from 2 years ago. Let him know what you think about that. How dare he make that long email, make it hard. You can also find us on Instagram, comment on our post, DM us, or you can feel free to leave a voicemail or text us at a toll-free number at 207-494-4334. I promise I will not answer the phone and put you on the spot. You can leave us a voicemail, send us a text, and we will read those or listen to those on a future episode. If you feel like it, if you have $1 to spare and you want to support your favorite podcast of all time, cool. And then if you want to support us, we also would take $1 as well on our Patreon. Where we're offering our scripts for our episodes that we write, as well as the warm and cuddly feelings you get from supporting us, and all the thank yous in the world. So, did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? It's up for debate. We're right, but I mean, it's okay if you think differently. Let us know what you think, of course. And I think that's it. Right? Is there anything else? I think is that it?
No, I think that's all we got. I think we've done good work here. We're doing a great service for people everywhere, and I think we should be really greatly appreciated for the work we're putting in.
I agree. Even if it's just in the form of a nice email. That's all I love.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Or a 5-star rating.
Oh,
on whatever service you use. Yeah, certainly.
We are currently at 7 ratings on Apple, either music or podcast. I forget which one it is. It's always changing, right? We have 7. Okay, here's our PSA, please. Here's our one ask for the day. We have 7 5-star ratings on Apple, which is awesome. If you listen on Apple and want to give us a 5-star rating, great. Anything lower, just don't worry about it. And then for Spotify, we are still not at 10 ratings yet. We're still under 10 ratings. Then we can have our official star ranking on Spotify. So if anyone listens on Spotify, which the majority of people do, and you find it in your hearts to want to rate us 5 stars really quickly when you're on the page before or after you listen to an episode, and you leave all happy and warm because we're just so good at this, and you want to just give us those 5 stars, that would be super appreciated. That'd be super nice of you. We'd really appreciate that a lot. It'd warm our hearts. If we had any, okay. Sorry, I think I'm losing it. Storygoers, hope you're happy and healthy and doing well, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
A lot of burly boys.
I want everyone to know that as a Street Fighter fan out there, that I think Ken would be a great cuddler. I'm not knocking him.